Good evening, everybody. This is Chris, WRBK 701, and I'm going to be the host for tonight's net control for the Arkansas GMRS repeater group. We're going to do this a little differently than we have in the past. We have a lot of new members, so we're going to kind of explain how we do this and try to make it easy and comfortable for everybody. A net is exactly what it is. It's a network, a group, a meeting of the minds on the radio. And in order to get things to work properly, there's usually somebody who controls it. They call that a net controller. And I apologize, some of you might be familiar with this, some of you are not, but we're going to do it this way. So we're going to do this each Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll have rolling people come in and try to do net control. And they will call the meeting, and we'll share information, and we'll get things out. So our script before says the net's held each Sunday at 7 p.m. and it's on all of our Arkansas GMRS repeater group affiliated repeater linking systems. This meeting tonight's open to everybody, all guests, members. As long as you have a GMRS license, you're welcome to come in here. And we use it to pass information, meet and greet other members, and promote the use of GMRS across the great state of Arkansas. And that's exactly what we're here to do. This is a perfect time to get your radio out, test it, make sure it works, get some audio report, and as you call in and say hi to me and hi to your fellow GMRS licensees, you can kind of get an idea how things work. So each evening, we do something called a coordinated net, and that's what it is. That's all it is everybody talks through me tonight, the host, net controller. We haven't decided what we're going to call it, but typically that's the term for it. And what we'll do is we're going to ask people to call in with their call sign, and we'll do it with your radio repeaters, and then we're going to do some Zello ones. So we'll do the radio people first, and then we'll go to the Zello ones. But what we ask you to do is call in with your call sign, name, and then what repeater you're coming in on, and I put it on a sheet, and it kind of checks you in, I guess is how we look at it. Let me reset real quick. Then once everybody checks in and says hi, we'll have some announcements. And a lot of times if you have something that you want to say when you call in, you can say that you have traffic or you have something to say. You have information traffic, however you want to call it. And we'll write that down. And then I'll kind of take a turn, and we'll go through a couple people that have things to share. And everybody can kind of share the information that they want. And then we'll kind of go around and see if there's any questions to those issues or things that were brought up, and just kind of have a discussion about it. At the end, we'll wrap it up, and everything will be done. But this is a fun time, and there's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll have a few things to share tonight. So let me reset. So as our first net of 2023, we'll start taking what we call the check-ins. The check-ins are exactly that. You're checking in with me, the net controller. You're checking in with your peers, and we're just more or less testing your radio. You're saying hi, whatever you want information you want to share. Let me know that you have some information or you don't. You don't have to say anything. For those of you that are afraid or scared, you don't want to really get into it, all you got to do is just give me your call sign, your name, where you're at, and that's all it is. And then you can listen to the rest of us that like to talk a lot, including me. So continuing, we're going to do some check-ins. We'll see. Those of you that have done this a million times, you can go first, kind of show how it's done. Again, I'm not kidding. We've added like 35 members in the last week and a half, so I'm hoping some of you are here with us tonight, and you're going to come in and say hi to us. So let's take some check-ins from people on radio repeaters anywhere in the link system area, and we'll do them about 3 at a time. And that way I can write down, and if there's any other issues, we can deal with that. It's not just a big pile. So let's take 3 check-ins, and y'all come now. Call me, net control.
WROK 383, Gainesville, Missouri, on the Baxter repeater, no traffic. My name's Robert.
Net
Control. WR1. Be Terry in Greenbrier. No traffic. First time being able to hit the Little Rock Metro. For whatever reason.
Net Control. Please check in WRMT 479, WRMT 479, Kelly and Benton. Also, you may not have as many people coming from the Hot Springs repeater. They may not have known that the PL tone has changed, and I've got several radios around here that's got to be updated for the simulcast system. WRMT 479.
479.
Net Control. Rocky.
Alright, let's stop it there real quick. Let me make sure I got it. Alright, first, WROK 383, sounding beautiful as always. Good evening. Terry, so glad to hear you. I have your call sign, but I didn't write it down, but I'm going to put it down later. So I heard you and Rocky both checking in. It's great to hear you guys tonight. And Kelly, yes, I got you, WRMT 479, and we understand. It is what it is, and as people start getting things changed over, we tried to get ahead of it as quick as we could, but it's going to happen. We'll see how it goes tonight. All right, 4 more check-ins. Let's go.
Net Control.
WRQZ 208, Bill, Little Rock on the Metro 650. No traffic.
WRAR 667, Dave Lincoln on the NWA 700 machine. Good evening.
Stop it there real quick. Philip, throw me your call sign one more time. I got the 242 part, but I didn't get the rest. I didn't hear you that time either. I guess I'll pull it off the roster. I got you, Dave. Good evening. And Bill, Metro, WRQZ 208. Good evening to you also. Let's try 3 or 4 more calls. Let's go.
ROJ 754. Net Control, this is Bob. I'm coming at you from Town repeater. I have no traffic.
Net Control, this is WRUN 749, coming off the Baxter repeater. My name is Hugh, and I have a general question.
Net Control, please check in Mike on the Town repeater, WRCZ 523.
Net Control. Please check in Gary, WRQH 527 on the Metro machine. No traffic.
Alright, let me stop it there, see if I got it. Alright. Bob and Mike coming out of Tiny Town. Good evening to both of you. Hugh, I got you. WRUN 749 with a question. I'll come back to you when we get to that point. And Gary, good evening to you. WRQH 527. Oh, it's getting so close to having a repeater closer to you. I can't wait. Alright, 3 or 4 more check-ins. Let's try it again.
WRKS 394 repeater.
Net Control, WRKS 394, Unit 3. This is Richard. I'm on the CAS 700. No traffic.
Control, please check in WRKE 615, Joshua, Hot Springs Village.
right, let's stop there real quick. Since we got a space. Richard, good evening. WRKF 394 on the CAS 700. And Joshua sneaking in on Zello. WRKE 615. All right, speaking of that, let's bring our Zello friends in. Let's let them start checking in. And if you want to check in on the radio side, we'll come back one more time and do that. So check-ins on Zello. Why don't you guys start coming in and say hi?
At control, please check in WROZ 279 from southeast Wisconsin. The name is Don. No traffic.
At control, please check in WRKG 942. John, up here in Huntsville. Good evening.
At control, WRZA 243, Eddie and Cabot. Net control, WRCB 274, Daniel in Jacksonville. Net control, please check in WRON 731, Jenny in Omaha, Arkansas.
Central Turtle Creek.
Net control, check in WRA 3454, which is on Zulu 454, Neil from Jonesboro.
702 Turtle Creek Command.
Net control, this is Robert, WRKF 802, Madam in Jefferson City, Missouri. No traffic.
Just information, 282 is had to turn around.
Net control, this is Kyle, WRML 454 in Smackover.
All right, let's stop it there real quick. Make sure I'm not walking on anybody. All right, I've got our Zello friends, WROZ 279, WRKG 942. Good evening, John. WRVA 243, Eddie over in Cabot. WRCB 274 in Jacksonville. Danny over ICU in Omaha, WRON 731. Neil, good evening to you also, WROZ 454. And I got WRKF 802 and WRML 454. Excellent. All right, let's try Zello one more time. All right, let me do radio check-ins that we might have missed. We'll do radio check-ins one more time, then I got a couple things I want to share, and there's some others that want to share some stuff. So radio check-ins or Zello. We'll do one more. We'll do this a couple times as people start to come in. So that way you're not like, oh my God, I'm never going to get in. We give you 3 or 4 times to try. So let's do radio repeaters or Zello one more time. Let's go.
WRKF 394. Always here and checking in from Bauxite.
Lance in Lowell. WRVT 344, no traffic.
Net control, check in WRFM 300, Tim and Clearfield, no traffic.
All right, I'll stop it there real quick. Mason, do you have traffic? Do you want to talk tonight or no?
Yeah, I was in the middle of trying to say something, so that little channel, calm down. Missed half of what I was going to say. Yeah, I'll talk after you do. WRKF 394.
All right, cool. And then I got Lance. Good evening to you, WRVT 344, and Tim. Always good to hear you, WRFM 300. All right. So those of you that want to check in, you'll have another opportunity here in a moment. But we're going to do some chatter boxing. So first on the list, Hugh. There you are. WRUN 749 had a question. So why don't you go ahead with your question and let's chat about it.
All right, I was just wondering if it would be like inappropriate when I got to the end if I were to enunciate it with the word nuts instead of saying N. That would be inappropriate, like saying WRU nuts 749 as an example.
I think you're fine as long as you're not saying something about these nuts or something weird. I think that would be fine. We try to keep it PG at least. It can be G. It is a family thing, and we want, there's a lot of people that are having families. So as long as we're WRUN, are you nuts? That's fine.
Well, that's all I pretty much to ask. Appreciate that. I wanted to ask before I started just yelling that over the radio. This is WRUN 749 standing by.
Hey, send the ambulance up here to the front up here. You can get the front all up.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you. All right, my turn, because I always have something to say. But I'll be somewhat brief. We had a lot of traffic on Facebook and the social medias and some of the other options that we offer our membership to communicate with each other outside of the radio. Big projects happened this weekend. Obviously, the CAS 700's on everybody's. I'm going to let Mason talk about that a little bit more in detail. That's his project. He's worked very, very hard on it. There's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some issues. It's just kind of, it is what it is. But, and I hate saying that anymore, but I can't find anything that replaces it. So, he can explain a little bit, but realistically, in the long run, it's going to be so much easier for so many people once everybody gets used to it. The CAS 700 is not the entire system, but he'll explain that. We still have our other machines up here. Let me reset. Secondly, we were talking about ID numbers. I spent a good part of today uploading ID numbers to the website. They're on each and every person's profile now. If you log in there and look at your profile, you'll see that there's an ID bank number of 10. So like we were trying to explain, there were some people sending messages saying, how do I use this? What do I do? And we tried to explain it. So realistically, I call my wife, WRBK 701. I can say Unit 2, Unit 1, 0102. We talk to each other, and then we ID when we're done. 4 digits is easier to remember than 7, although after a while you'll start to remember people's call signs. You don't have to use them, but they're there. Again, if you have more questions and things about that, just ask. Likewise, I've uploaded everything I had of all the people that have created accounts on the website. There's still quite a few people in the group that have not. If you haven't done it, it's free. Go ahead and do it, and that way you can see repeater guides and all kinds of different information as it's updated. Facebook isn't the be-all, end-all of our group. Even though it is our most popular way to communicate, we have other ways to do it, and we want to make sure that we get information to everybody as much as possible. Continuing, I don't have any real repeater updates other than everything seems to be on schedule for Fort Smith next month. So hopefully we'll get that built, and that's going to be a very big improvement to the entire group for that section of the state. Likewise, we'll be making a visit out to Forest City and try to clean up that noise that's going on out there. We've actually unlinked that repeater right now. Somebody's got some voice-activated thing going on, and it just seems to pick up and cycle for a couple seconds and then stops. But it goes on and on and on, and we can hear somebody's TV in the background. So we're going to try a couple things to make sure it's not malicious. We're very aware of it. We know it's a pain, and hopefully we can keep the repeater there. But we are going to make some changes to it, and hopefully that will clean up whatever the problem is. That being said, we got to be careful with our radios. We got to make sure that we're trying to operate them appropriately. We're not using crossband repeat and doing all kinds of weird stuff, and it's locking the system down. We're not using voice-operated things that just starts to key the system up and gets all weird. We are going to start making some training videos. I actually started a YouTube account today, so there is a YouTube account now for the group. We'll start sharing some videos on there and getting some basic videos put together. Those of you that are video type people, I'm all ears. We can put all kinds of cool stuff on there and share it with the bigger group. But we're going to put how to use chirp and how to program a radio, what PL means, and what this means and what that means. I mean, everything down to how do I put an end on a cable that goes to my antenna? Or even better, what is this end? What's the difference between an N and a BNC and a PL259? We'll teach you all that. Continuing, and that way there's a repository for all of our members and GMRS people to be able to learn how to basically use their equipment without getting too complicated. We're going to try to keep it simple and easy. Usually once stuff's set up, it runs good, but you still got to maintain it once in a while. So that is forthcoming. All right, with that, I think I'm done. Is there, before I go on to Mason, any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints? Let me hear them.
Net control is the correct PL 141.3.
The correct PL for what? The CAS 700? Yes. Otherwise, there's multiple repeaters, not just that one. But if you're asking about the CAS 700, yes, 141.3.
Thank you. I was trying to find it. I found it on the web finally. I'll check in when you take the next round.
Perfect. Sounds good otherwise. All right, anybody else got any questions, comments?
Net control, this is WRTT. 376, Chris, did have a question.
Go right ahead.
Okay, this question's about the CAS 700. Are both of those machines transmitting the decode tone? Because I'm hearing weird stuff with my signals over here. Acts like I'm maybe picking up one of the machines and then it have to get above a certain signal level before it breaks itself.
All right, we're going to get Mason in here and let him chatter about that for a bit, because there's definitely some differences with this, and we're going to have to work through a few things. So, Mason, are you ready? You want to explain a couple things? It's all yours if you're ready. Otherwise, I can keep talking.
Yes. And let me scoot in my driveway for just a second. I'm trying to find the exact right spot that I want to be in, watching the signal graph. Okay, there we go. The gentleman that just asked the question on Zello, please come back with that same question, because I missed about half of what you said because I was fiddling around with some stuff over here, and I want to get back to that. But first, let me just go over like the general overview of what's going on here. I don't want to blab too long, and Chris, if you want to do like I don't know, like a question thing or whatever, yeah, I'll hang around till when the official net part is over, and anybody can ask any questions or whatever, and we can talk about it or whatever. But I'll just give a general overview real quick. So it's two repeaters. They are on the same exact frequency and same PL tone. As far as the end user is concerned, it's just one repeater. It operates just like one repeater. You don't have to do anything special or anything like that. Just program CAS 700 in your radio per the website with the 700 frequency and the 141.3 PL tone on both receive and transmit if you want. And that's it. You use it. If I add more sites to it later, the coverage just grows, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change repeaters or anything like that. That's what's so awesome about it. The best way I can describe it is it's like cell towers. You just use your cell phone. You never have to change frequencies or pick which tower you're on. You just talk and it works. And that's kind of the idea I'm going for here. For pretty much all of Central Arkansas is what I'm hoping for anyways. Right now, it's just Hot Springs and Benton. I took the stuff from the Perrin site and moved it to Hot Springs this last Saturday because I feel like that's a better place for that expensive simulcast stuff to be right now. and we can look at the parent site a little more later. The next plan is to add the Little Rock Metro to this system, at which point, like I just said, the coverage will simply increase for the CAS 700 frequency and field tone. You won't have to do anything except don't use the Little Rock Metro frequency anymore. You will instead just use the CAS 700 programs in your radio, because the Little Rock Metro will be a part of that. I am doing my best to put all of the information about this thing on the CAS 700 page on the ARC Radio website. That is going to be my main hub for all of the information regarding this system, how it works, what it does, FAQs. I'll put everything on there. That way I have one place where, you know, I can link everything back to that, and that can just be where you go to find pretty much everything about it. So I'll probably be updating that as I think of things and get some more stuff added to it and whatnot. That's about it right now. I could talk about this thing for like 6 hours straight, but I'm not going to. I'll save it for questions at the end, or any comments or anything like that, and the question from the guy on Zello that I missed that I need you to come back to me with here in a little bit. I think that's about it. Chris, if there's anything else I need to say, tell me. Otherwise, take it over. WRKF 394 in Bauxite.
Hey, let me add something real quick. So, like he said, the Metro 650 is still on 650, and it's linked. So, when you're on the CAS 700 and somebody's talking on the Metro, you'll hear each other. What he's doing is he's going to put the repeater that is on the 650 into that system, so now the 700 would go farther. There's still other repeaters around there, and you'll have to look on the map and see which ones are which. You know, for the standalones are the ones that are linked, but have separate frequencies. They're not all... Everything that Mason owns is eventually going to be, you know, that CAS 700 system. But there will be other stuff. Just like Malvern is on its own frequency, but it's linked. Up here in the Northwest, NWA 700, Winslow, which we got to change the name, is separate, but they're linked. So it kind of helps both ways. All right, let's get questions. Okay, hopefully we answered it. And, yeah, I mean, we realize there's probably a few people that still need to get their things programmed up, but, I mean, tonight we've had a really good amount of check-ins so far, and I think we've got some more waiting out there in the wings. So we'll get to that in a second. But one more time, any questions about the CAS 700 in particular, or anything else as far as the website, future projects, things like that? Feel free. That's what we're here for, and this is what we do it for. Okay, hearing none, sounds like we got it under control. So let's do a couple missed check-ins. Anybody who wants to check in late, by all means, come say hi. Call sign, what repeater you're on, name if you want, and if you have anything that you would like to share, come now. And I don't hello or repeaters, either way. Let's go.
Net control.
WR,
please check in.
repeater, Rob, no traffic, just started
Hot
listening.
Springs repeater. My name is Bill, and I'm in Royal, Arkansas. No traffic.
Okay. We had 4 people at the same time. We're going to have to try this again. Brian, I think I heard you first. WRTE828, I think. Try you start, and then we'll go from there.
WRTE 828, Rob, Little Rock, Metro repeater, no traffic.
WRQ8769, WRQ8769. Name is Melvin, going through the Melvin repeater with no traffic.
Net control, please check in. WQWU626. Name is Bill, and I'm on the CAS 700 system. No traffic.
All right, let's stop there real quick. And this is Chris, WRBK 701. A little late. So I got Rob. Sorry, I can call you Brian. I thought I heard Brian in there too. But Rob, I got you, WRTE828. Melvin, good evening to you, WRQ8769. And Bill on the 700, WQWU626. Some more check-ins. Let's try now.
WRVQ831, Matt in Springdale.
WRUT 479, Tracy in Hot Springs. No traffic.
All right, I got Matt, WRVQ831. And Tracy, good evening to you, WRUT479. All right, let's see. I'm going to keep doing this until it gets quiet. I like hearing everybody saying hi. I'm hoping everybody's getting some good information out of it tonight. Any other check-ins, Zello or the repeaters? Try now. All right, I'm not hearing any more traffic and any more comment questions. Let's see. Are there any visitors, non-members out there that want to check in and say hi? We'll give you a spot. Any visitors or non-members that want to check in, please come now and say hi. All right, hearing none. There's 30 check-ins tonight, so we appreciate y'all coming in and saying hi. We're hearing no further traffic. We're going to conclude the Arkansas GMRS Repeater Group Weekly Night. I really appreciate everybody participating. Thank you. And thanks to all the repeater owners for your hard work and letting us use the systems. Again, we're going to try to see if we can't lighten up this net script a little bit, kind of trying to go by it a little bit, but a little more explanation for people that haven't really done this before. Anybody wants to stick around and chat a little bit, you're more than welcome to. Any other questions that you're thinking about while we're discussing all this? A lot of us will be listening for a little while. A lot of us are listening mostly all the time. Other than that, we'll wrap the net up at 7:38 with 30 check-ins. Appreciate it. I'm Chris, WRBK 701, up here in the Northwest.